G'day YouTube, warbles on a lot here. Those of you who've been paying attention to my videos recently will have seen that I had a go at making a video with a chest mounted camera on the electric bike going down the Barilda driveway, showing off the earthworks that are underway, the need for earthworks, and the ingenious way of attempting to get water to not just run down the lowest part, which is the driveway between two hills, but to lead the water that's fallen off from the crown of the road into the gutter, and then collect the water in the gutter that's fallen off the road, and then lead that away to the side lower than where it hit the road. So you're basically still bringing the water downhill, but you're tracking it out across the hill before it gets dispersed. And by the time it works its way back down to where the road is, essentially the road has moved on, kind of thing. It's almost black magic, counterintuitive civil engineering, but that's what they're doing. So I wanted to show it to you, but I had this problem with the chest mount. The chest mounted camera sitting on a plate on my chest, suffering from two difficulties. On the one hand, the elastic in the chest strap was old and it had stretched and it didn't get a good grip on me, and it was beyond adjusting any further with the buckles and the straps that I had. And on the other hand, I'd lost, I don't know, 12 kilograms, 15 kilograms, I suppose, since I made that harness. At least 7 or 8 kilograms since I last used that harness on a push bike. I had used it for doing some whippersnipping, and I'd played around with all the camera angles to get it to work then. So I come to the conclusion that I need to have something more better to grip the chest plate and hold it onto me. Something better than that, because that's kind of what I had. Straps off an old backpack with some elastic from a set of underwear and a buckle which I had cobbled up. So there had to be something better. And behold, what Warble Daddy got given for Xmas. Look at that. It's a Camelback. It's got really good big straps. Just tickety-boo for hooking a chest camera mounting plate onto. So I had a bit of a crack at it yesterday and I didn't quite get the angle of the dangle right, and I have since adjusted it, and I'm thinking that this should actually work today. At the very least, I'm expecting this to work better than that did. And just for shits and giggles, this time, to make it a bit fairer, every other time I'd come back up the hill, I'd had a spare battery in each one of the pannier bags to the tune of 2.5 kilograms each, or 5 kilograms of lead in the saddlebag, so to speak. When I came back up the hill with the camera on the sloppy loose mount. So now when we go out and give it a go, at least we'll have the right weight in the saddlebags, and the only variable will be the fact that I am personally lighter. And I'm sure the 250 or 200 watt motor, whatever it actually is there, because I have found a placard up near the hub motor which says it's a 200 watt motor. Whatever it is, if I'm 12 or 15 kilograms lighter, that probably accounts for a lot of the difference in how well it came up the hill the last 5 times I've come up it, actually. But we'll never ever know unless we give it a bit of a go. And that, I think, is the correct angle for riding a bike. It's not the correct angle for walking around using it as a chest camera. Okay, let's see how we go. I think that's the right angle or the correct angle, but I could be wrong. No way to know until I get back at the end of the day. Adjust that mirror just a little bit. But I have pumped up the tyres and re-riveted the mounting on the front mudguard. exactly the right spot or it might fall over. And as you can see, I have paid attention to the people in the comments thread who said I look like a fool by opening the gate all the way, just because I've been doing it that way for the last 32 years. And there's this real cultural cognitive dissonance attached to going against the muscle memory and stopping the process before you get all the way. But I take it on board that it looked a bit silly. Warble's opening the gate wide enough for a motor car when he's only going to push a bloody bike out on one of the wheel tracks. So you do get that. And make sure everything's all snugged in before we get onto the bumpety bit. Okay. I suppose I should try to do this sort of thing very late, hang on for a bit, in the afternoon or early in the morning, so you get shadows. There we go. I think I've got the mirror a bit better organised. Oh, the cattle are all sitting underneath the tree. As my neighbour was saying, a lot of the fodder has gone. So, now there we see a little bit of a willy, otherwise known as a thermal, breaking off. See it by the grass swirling round in circles. It's all getting very hot. So it is. It's a good thing I bought so many brake blocks, I think, because going down hills like this you have to use the back brakes, and you use them quite a bit. Now, let's hope that today on the bike you can actually get to see some of the features that I tried to pick out last time, like the way the road has been built up by this white material being carried in and dropped on the ground and rolled and then graded. Meanwhile, the grey trap rock and the darker charcoal grey, well, I suppose, of what topsoil there is there, it's been graded so that what water lands on this road here is supposed to go into the drain over there, and then the water that goes into the drain builds up quite a little torrent along here, and then the little torrent goes off into the swale, and the swale leads it out there into the paddock, and there is actually a gully out there. And then you start again trying to run the water off the road, get it into the drain, and the same thing of course is going on this side, only on this side, as you can see, the hill is a hell of a lot higher up than the road, so you've got this great big bare scar, and water's going to come running down overland, come down, and it's supposed to hit that gully and not come up onto the road, because if it comes up onto the road and gets onto the wheel tracks, then you're up shit creek, and you really need the people who are driving on the road to make a conscious effort to go in a different place and keep rolling the crown and keep the crown of the road smooth and cylindrical to shed water into the gutters so that the gutters and the swales can take the water off the road. See, it's not actually black magic, but it's bloody close. And now we get onto the bit of the Barilla driveway where they have dug their, I don't don't know, the grader or the rippers or something in there, and they've put in the swales, but they haven't actually made the surface of the road up yet. So we've got the old, ancient, eroded surface, where from my memory what sort of went on was once upon a time the previous owner's manager got a bloke in with a grader and a roller and a water cart, and he didn't bring in any new material, but he did a pretty good job with the material that was already here. And he was the first one to ever set up a serious attempt at these swales. And then not long after that happened, somebody was allowed to come out here and cut and haul firewood straight after some rain, and they just completely rooted the road. Whoa, see the little willy go there. By hauling heavy loads on a freshly graded road after rains while it was mud. And then there was a drought and it didn't really matter much. And then, well, property changed hands and new owner come equipped with teenagers and motorbikes and quad bikes. And such things invite an exploration of how fast you can go really when you're young. So a lot of what used to be baked dry trap rock clay sort of soil structure, under the impact of drought and high speed motorcycles and quads, it all turned to dust and got blown away. And then there was a watering project which it required right up there at the top of the hill, right beside my driveway, digging a trench to get the water pipes under the road. Which, yeah, that sort of completely destabilised the drainage system and allowed water that would normally have run off overland and gone in different places entirely to suddenly get 3 foot deep into the road base. And then the bloke who did that trench digging didn't seem to understand the swales at all, and with his backhoe he got into it. And he tried to improve it, but all these improvements were counterproductive. I suppose because the whole idea of the swales is counterintuitive, you know, like if you don't know that it can be done, if you haven't seen it done, then you wouldn't ever think to do it yourself. Whoever figured it out must have been bloody brilliant. Now there was an excavator parked there beside my daughter's car, left-hand side of the road, yesterday when I had a first attempt at making this video, but it's not there today. Dirt on the road's getting deeper and deeper. Oh gee, I hope this camera mount works. I worry that I've got it pointed too high, but you know. The perennial problem is the damn thing's been too low. I wonder why the hell they brought the excavator out here and parked it here for the weekend and then took it away again and didn't bloody do anything with it. Bit of a worrying sign. It truly is a bit of a bloody endurance test of a driveway. You could go up it faster in terms of how much available power you got, but in terms of picking your track and trying to figure out where you want to ride, going slow seems to work better. So we have a grader with a ripper and we have a vibrating roller. I go around this one, and come out the other side later. Now here you can see the swales from below. And you can see how it picks water up from higher up and leads it off. And it's not actually making the water run uphill, it just sort of looks like it. Yeah? Cunning is a shit-house rat, actually. And they're considered to be cunning because they live out in the shithouse where nobody ever puts a rat trap. And during the night when everybody's asleep, they come back into the house and raid your pantry, leave their shitty footprints all over your stuff. Hence the saying, cunning as a shithouse rat. It's just one of those old colonial vernacular expressions that you don't hear very often anymore. I wonder why. Oh, that's a bit challenging, and we got wind against us this time. Oh. Done it. 3:56. 15 minutes. Max 22.4, average 9.3. And that was with the extra weight in the saddlebags. Which I probably should show. See? Battery. And battery. Oh, but that is quite a workout for a mangy looking cancerous old man, or perhaps technically mangy looking sibilant cancer free old man, because I'm theoretically free of it. And there you go. While preoccupied, one reverts to muscle memory and conditioning and opens the gate a car width for the bicycle. Ah, life's funny actually. The older one gets and the longer it goes on for. But you got to have a sense of humour. I was trying to explain it to someone in a comment thread somewhere. They were going on about, oh, imagine the horrors of this, that or the other thing happening for people who are in the military force somewhere. And I reminded him that in the Australian Imperial Forces in the First and Second World War, they were all volunteer forces. So anybody who complained was met with a response of, what's the matter, can't you take a joke? Perhaps you shouldn't have volunteered, Zigger. And that would usually shut them up, stop them from whinging back in the day. So the old fellas reckon. Oh, okay. So 2.5 kilometres, 356.1. Okay. So we started out with 41.7, now I've got 40.2 volts. So, get battery number 3. And click $700 into place. And without a decent logbook, oops, I reckon it would be very, very, very easy to turn an electric push bike into a very, very expensive, regretful mistake. Happily, I've got a logbook. So I'm pretty happy with mine. Anyway, I'm going to go and watch this video, and if it's worthwhile, I will upload it. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.